Hey, what's up YouTube? Jacques here from Ulico Corp. This video is part 3 of a 4-part YouTube video series explaining the basics of how search engine optimization and search engine marketing works. In this video, we're going to look at different ways how you can gauge your website's organic ranking and organic traffic by using Google Search Console, or otherwise known as GSC. I'm also going to show you how to export some great reports so that you can keep track on your website's organic ranking and organic traffic coming up. Alright, so let's jump into it. First, what the hell is Google Search Console, or GSC, you might ask? Well, the quick answer is Google Search Console is a service that allows you to view your website's indexing status, total impressions, total clicks, and where your website is showing up, or where your website is getting traffic when people are searching specific keywords. Keep in mind, you can only access your website's metrics through Google Search Console if you have full access or owner privileges to do so. All right, so let's cut to the chase. I'm going to assume that you have full access to your GSC account. Make sure that you ask your web developer to give you full access or owner access if you don't have that. It's a good practice that business owners and or managers have full access or owner access within their Google Search Console. Okay, so let's open up that laptop, let's grab some coffee, and let's get started. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our preferred browser and we're going to type in Google Search Console into the address bar. You can use any browser, Microsoft Edge, Firefox, whatever works. You're gonna get a bunch of search results. Let's go ahead and click on the first search result that says Google Search Console. Just gonna go ahead and click there. Once this page is loaded, click on the Start Now button that is halfway down the page. Now, my account is already logged in. Go ahead and log into your Google or Gmail account and you will be directed to the dashboard view. At the top left screen, you'll see your website as the selected property. Now, if you own more than one website property, it will showcase as a drop-down and you can click on several of them. So let's go ahead and select a property or a website you would like to pull some organic reports and some organic rankings from. Okay, so quick tip. Google just recently launched their Search Console Insight, or CSI beta. CSI is a great way to quickly see how your website is performing by showing you the latest clicks you gain from your search results. Now, CSI is still very much in its beta phase, but we'll definitely see some significant improvements in the coming months. Okay, back to the dashboard view. On the left-hand side, you'll see a few navigational options to navigate to. There's a lot. They are meant for website administrators, so don't feel overwhelmed. We're only going to look at 4 most important items to focus on, which in this case is performance, coverage, security, and manual actions. On the dashboard, you also see performance and coverage. These 2 are the most important reports you can pull to see how your site is ranking organically. With this video, we're going to keep it short and we're only going to focus on your website's performance. Let's go ahead and click on Open Report right on the performance card. Just navigate, just see what I'm doing right here. All right, this report seems complicated and you'll notice a lot of up and down spikes on this chart. This is normal, especially if your site is growing, especially if your site is new, especially if your site is less than 200 or so pages. At the top, you'll see search type and you'll see date range. By default, the date range is always set to 3 months. Now, I personally feel that 3 months is not a great view to actually see how your site is performing. I normally set it to 16 months to get a clear view of the website or my website's organic status. So let's go ahead and click on the pencil next to it and select the date and let's set it to 16 months. There we go. The chart just changed and now we have a much clearer view of what's going on. At the top, you'll see 4 boxes: total clicks, total impressions, average CDR, which stands for click-through rate, by the way, and average position. Total clicks refer to how many people click through to your site, and total impressions is how many people saw your website showcase on each search result, normally on the first page of Google, normally the first 10 spots. By default, both boxes are always checked and they reflect what we see in the actual chart right below. So if we click on, let's say, total click box, you'll notice that the line actually drops off or it disappears. Same goes for any of those boxes. So for those that's unchecked or those that's checked, if you click on it, it will show or disappear on the actual chart itself. Average CDR or click-through rate refers to how many people click on your site. In fact, the higher your CTR, actually the better, right? Average CTR are normally a low score for small businesses. It only kind of increases once you have a 200 to 500 page website, where you would see an improvement on that actual percentage. You can also improve your CTR by fine-tuning your meta titles and descriptions. By the way, drop us a comment if you'd like us to create a great video as to what meta titles, what meta descriptions are all about, and how and what you can do to improve your website's CTR. Okay, last box is average position. This box refers to the average position your site ranks based on its organic ranking and obviously organic score and performance. The average position is a complicated score. However, the lower this number, the more visible your site is. 1 being the first spot on Google and 100 or 1,000 or 1,000,000 being the last. But keep in mind that this is an average score of your entire website and all possible keywords and all possible pages, all possible queries. It's a good rule of thumb to keep track of the score, but don't get too hung up on this. All right, now we know the basics of these 4 boxes. Now in this property, in this example you can see that the entire site has a steady increase of impressions, and then all of a sudden, at some point, there was just a huge drop. When we look at the end though, you can see that it's slowly but surely stacking up again. Now the reason for this drop off is because this specific website was redeveloped recently, and some services and or products and blog pages for this specific site has changed, and that's why we saw that drop right there. I'm seeing a slow increase there on the end. You know, the impressions are picking up, and this is really telling me that the site is slowly but surely being re-indexed and the impression score is really getting where we want it to be. Okay, so that was the chart. Next, we're going to look at the table below. The table showcases some vital information to determine if your website ranking is working properly or not. There are 6 tabs to choose from. However, I think to just keep it short, we're only going to focus on queries and pages right now. Queries are the actual search queries or keywords your site is ranking for, and pages are, well, it's the pages that your website is ranking for. This table in both queries and pages tab here at the top, clicking, going back and forth, show top queries or pages on the left, and on the right, we can see clicks received, impressions, click-through rate, and ranking position. At the top right, you can filter this table by selecting or deselecting a few options. You can also rearrange the table results by clicking on the top items. All right, so let's click on the position to see which keyword or search query we are ranking for on the first page of Google. Now, Google SERP or search results page has a total of 8 to 10 spots depending on the keyword, if there is a map pack, and total number of ads showing at that given time. So let's check it out. Okay, doing a quick search on, well, let's just use the keyword criminal lawyers. You can see a bunch of ads showing at the top. Right below that, we have the map pack, and then some questions that people ask, and then only then we have the organic rankings showing up. With that said, when we scroll through this, the map pack is, you know, it's at the top, it's kind of right below the ads, but it's important to know that the map pack is part of local SEO and can also be seen as organic ranking. All right, so back to our table and position, we can see all our keywords and position score for those specific keywords. Keep in mind that any keyword between 1 and 10 is seen as first page on the SERP or search result page. You can also click on the pages tab to see which page is producing what keyword and what position they're at. This is great data because it shows you how well your site is ranking and which keyword or search query it's ranking for. Now, furthermore, it also shows us which page is ranking well and which ones are not. So there's a way for us to see on which page we can improve and which page we can leave to do its own thing. If you want to export this data, go ahead and click on the export button at the top and you'll have a couple of selections to choose from, couple of options to choose from. Okay, cool. Now we know how to access the website property data, how to determine the total clicks, total impressions, total average position, all that good stuff. We also had a basic understanding of how to track our ranking, our queries, our keywords, and our pages. All right, so last piece of knowledge I want to share with you is checking your website security and manual action section in your GSC account. On the left-hand side, I want you to scroll down, that beautiful menu area, and go to security and manual action. Now I'm gonna go ahead and click on that. Open this drop down and click on manual actions. Now, what is manual actions? Now, in short, if your website violates the terms of service of Google in any way, you'll see a manual action against your site. Now, manual actions is quite rare, but this normally gets triggered when someone is practicing black hat SEO tactics. Make sure to check out our video on black hat SEO. We have a great video explaining the basics of black hat SEO, gray hat, and white hat SEO. Right here at the top, just click on the link and have a look. All right, so always check manual actions section in Google Search Console or GSC to make sure that the site has no actions against it. Also, if you have something showing up in this section, then it's most likely that your website is suspended from Google. All right, so the security issues section is the spot to check if your website is flagged for any malware or viruses. Also a place to check if your website has been hacked. Hey, thanks for watching this YouTube video. Make sure to hit the like button if you gained any knowledge from this video, and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get weekly updates on how to effectively promote your business and brand. Now, this was part 3 of a 4-part YouTube video series explaining the basics of search engine optimization and search engine marketing.